Did you know that the explosive tension between Israel and Iran today was actually predicted with terrifying precision over 2,500 years ago? Most people think this conflict is about oil, land, or nuclear weapons, but the truth is much more shocking. It all started with a single mistake made in a tent 4,000 years ago. This is the hidden story of how a savior nation became a sworn enemy, and why the current headlines about Israel-Iran are the fulfillment of an ancient biblical prophecy that is reaching its breaking point right now. Before they were enemies, the ancestors of Israel and Iran were actually family, sharing the same blood and the same father. In the book of Genesis, we see that the descendants of Elam, the ancient name for the people of Iran, and the descendants of Abraham were brothers from the same household. This shared history makes the modern-day hostility between Israel and Iran one of the greatest tragedies in human history, as a family bond was replaced by a cycle of violence that has lasted for millennia. If you're finding this investigation into the roots of Israel and Iran fascinating, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel right now. We dive deep into these hidden histories every week, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. The first major fracture occurred when Abraham and Sarah grew tired of waiting for God's promise and took matters into their own hands. Sarah offered her Egyptian servant Hagar to Abraham, leading to the birth of Ishmael, while Isaac was born later as the child of the promise. This split between the two sons created a wound in the Middle East that has never truly healed, directly influencing the spiritual and political landscape of Israel and Iran that we see on the news today. In your opinion, do you think the personal decisions of leaders today could still be affecting the world 4,000 years from now? Let us know in the comments below. The Bible records a prophecy over Ishmael, stating that his hand would be against everyone and everyone's hand against him. This prophecy of perpetual conflict has echoed through the generations, shaping the very foundation of the regions surrounding Israel and Iran. While Isaac's line led to the nation of Israel, the descendants of the East became powerful empires that would eventually collide in a struggle for dominance and spiritual identity. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the prophetic connections between Israel and Iran. Your support helps us bring these stories to light. When the Jewish people were later dragged into captivity by Babylon, it wasn't a fellow Israelite who saved them, but a Persian king. God called Cyrus the Great, the ruler of ancient Iran, his Messiah or Anointed One, making him the only non-Jewish king in the Bible to receive such a sacred title. This Persian king didn't just free the Jews, he funded the rebuilding of the temple in Jerusalem with Persian gold, proving that at one point the connection between Israel and Iran was one of total partnership and divine favor. How is it possible that the nation that once saved Israel is now the one vowing to destroy it? What do you think changed in the heart of these two nations? Share your thoughts in the comments. Centuries later, a new darkness rose within the Persian court in the form of Haman, a man carrying the spirit of Amalek, an ancient hatred against God's people. Haman plotted a total genocide of the Jews, but he was stopped by Queen Esther, a Jewish woman who had risen to the throne of Persia. This battle wasn't just political, it was a recurring cycle of hatred that continues to manifest in the modern-day threats exchanged between Israel and Iran. Make sure to like the video if you're learning something new about Israel and Iran, and subscribe so you never miss a prophetic update. The prophet Daniel later revealed that the conflict is actually happening in a dimension we cannot see. He described a 21-day spiritual battle against a fallen angelic being known as the Prince of the Kingdom of Persia. This suggests that the real war between Israel and Iran isn't being fought with drones or missiles alone, but by powerful spiritual forces operating behind the scenes of global government. Do you believe that there are spiritual princes or invisible forces influencing the current war between Israel and Iran? Tell us why or why not in the comments. For over 1,000 years after these biblical events, the people of Persia remained largely favorable to the Jewish people. They lived together, traded together, and even compiled sacred texts on Iranian soil. However, a massive shift occurred during the Islamic conquests, which eventually reopened the original wound of Abraham's tent and turned a non-Arab nation into the bearer of an ancient grievance against the land of Israel. If you want more content exploring the mysteries of Israel and Iran, give this video a like and subscribe to join our community of truth seekers. In the 1970s, the world saw a modern version of the ancient alliance, as Israel and Iran were openly allied with oil flowing and experts cooperating between Tel Aviv and Tehran. But the 1979 revolution changed everything almost overnight, transforming Iran into a regime that views the destruction of Israel as a religious obligation. This sudden reversal is exactly what many scholars point to as the rising of the Prince of Persia once again in our modern era. Is it a coincidence that these two nations went from best friends to worst enemies in just 1 year? Or is there something supernatural at work? Give us your take in the comments. The prophet Ezekiel predicted that in the latter days, a massive coalition of nations would rise to cover the land of Israel like a cloud. Persia, modern-day Iran, is the very first nation mentioned on that list of invaders.